Hello, Gemini, Sun, Rising, and Venus, and welcome to your reading. So, Gemini, today we're going to see what you could possibly anticipate and or expect within the next 3 months in regards to love. So with all that being said, Gemini, let's get started. So we do have It's Safe for You to Love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. At the bottom of the deck, we do have This Could Be the One. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. All right, we're going to clarify It's Safe for You to Love just to see why you're getting this card in regards to your next 3 months in regards to love. So let's get started. For Gemini, Sun, Rising, and Venus, tell me more about It's Safe for You to Love for Gemini, Sun, Rising, and Venus. So we do have the Five of Pentacles. Could be dealing with a Taurus. You know what's... You know, the first thing that came to my mind is I just couldn't convince them. I couldn't convince them. This could definitely be your energy, Gemini, or this could definitely represent somebody else's energy, but I am definitely getting, I just couldn't convince them. I just couldn't convince them. Tell me more about this Five of Pentacles energy. We have the Empress. Somebody wasn't able to convince this feminine energy over here. About what? I don't know, but I keep getting, I just couldn't convince them. I just couldn't convince them. I just couldn't convince them. Tell me more about the Five of Pentacles. Oh, we have the Lovers that fell to the ground. Let me go pick that up 1 second. Okay, we're back. So we have the Lovers out here. I mean, considering the fact, you know, that we do have It's Safe for You to Love, and then we have the Lovers out here, I feel like there was somebody here that was trying to convince this feminine energy that they honestly did mean well and that they had good intentions with them. They just couldn't convince them. Yeah, they just couldn't convince this feminine energy that they honestly did mean well and that they actually did have a lot of love for them. Okay. Tell me more about the Five of Pentacles. Tell me more about the Five of Pentacles. We have the King of Swords, and then we also have the Six of Swords. The bottom of the deck, we do have the Queen of Swords. Here we go. With the Hangman, and then we also have the Five of Cups. Okay. Starting to kind of all make sense now. So we have a feminine energy over here. We have a feminine energy over here that has been trying their hardest to like learn how to trust this individual over here and feel safe and secure with this individual over here, this masculine energy. But it kind of looks like no matter how hard they try to like trust this King of Swords and feel safe and secure within this dynamic that they share with this King of Swords, they still constantly find themselves thinking the same things over and over again, which is nothing but negative things. Like, they're gonna cheat on me, they're gonna hurt me, they're gonna disappoint me, they're gonna let me down. I just know it, I just know it, I just know it. And I feel like, you know, due to them constantly thinking the worst when it came down to this masculine energy, it caused them over time to, you know, feel not so safe and secure with them. It caused them over time to feel like it's not safe for them to trust this masculine energy over here. You know, this masculine energy that we're looking at here, you know, this person comes off to me you know, as somebody who isn't here to play games with this feminine energy. They also come off to me as somebody who doesn't have anything to hide either. So as to why like this feminine energy found it so hard to like trust them is kind of like beyond me, to be completely honest. It's kind of beyond me. Yeah, it's kind of beyond me, like why this Queen of Swords just wasn't able to like trust them or feel safe and secure with them. You know, I feel like this masculine energy like honestly did everything that they could honestly think of, you know, to make this you know, feminine energy trust them and feel safe and secure with them, because that's essentially what they wanted, was for this feminine energy to feel safe and secure with them. But it kind of looks like no matter what they did on their end, they still found themselves essentially, you know, thinking, believing, and feeling like it's only a matter of time before they hurt me. It's only a matter of time before they let me down. I just know it. I just know it. I just know it. True pair situation. Again, we do have the Emperor to the Empress to the King of Swords to the Queen of Swords. So Gemini, there's a huge possibility that you could find yourself connecting with someone very soon that you're going to mesh very well with, that you're going to be extremely compatible with, that may have a difficult time trusting you. You might find yourself going above and beyond to gain this person's trust. And no matter, you know, how hard you try to gain their trust, they still don't trust you. Of course, could this be resonating vice versa? Absolutely. You might find yourself, you know, having a hard time trusting them. And no matter how much, you know, this person goes above and beyond to get you to trust them, you know, you still might find yourself feeling like you can't trust them. So however it resonates, right? For some of you, you could currently find yourself going through this. And if you do currently find yourself going through this and you're the one that's having a very difficult time trusting this masculine energy, take this as a sign that it is safe for you to go there. It is safe for you to trust this person. Okay? Tell me more about it's safe for you to love. Okay? We got the Four of Wands. Four of Wands represents unity between two people. You know, it's interesting because I feel like this masculine energy really does want to be with this feminine energy. And I feel like this feminine energy really does want to be with this masculine energy. I just feel like this feminine energy hates the fact that they constantly find themselves thinking the worst when it comes down to this masculine energy. I also feel like they hate the fact that they constantly find themselves thinking that they're up to no good. Because I feel like they do that a lot. It's like they constantly find themselves thinking, like day in and day out, that this masculine energy is up to no good. And I feel like that really does, like, you know, stress them the hell out. And it really does worry them and concern them. I am definitely getting that strongly. But we do have the Hermit out here. Let's see what else we can get here to the Three of Cups. Tell me more. What was that? Oh, hold on, let me grab the card that fell. All right, we have the Queen of Wands, but the Queen of Wands actually came out in the reverse, or it fell to the ground in the reverse. So I figured I'd just take it like that. Okay, you know, I feel like there's times where this feminine energy kind of finds themselves like going with the flow and being open and receptive to this connection. But I am definitely getting that what causes them to, like, you know, how do I say this? What causes them to kind of like want to retract their energy from this masculine energy has a lot to do with the fact that they do get easily triggered. They do definitely get easily triggered. I am definitely getting that strongly off of this feminine energy. So let's just say that this masculine energy does something unknowingly that ends up triggering this feminine energy. Well, it causes them to want to retract their energy from this masculine energy, and it also causes them to fall into this negative mindset of, you know, they're no good, you know, they're a player, they're this, they're that. I am definitely getting that. If you're resonating with this masculine energy, it is in your best interest to ask this individual what actually triggers them. This person might find themselves even discovering that they have new things that trigger them that they didn't even know that they were aware of. So you might find yourself, if you're this masculine energy, you might find yourself having to kind of learn along the way, like what actually triggers them. But I just feel like this person does get easily triggered. They get easily triggered. So, you know, if you're this masculine energy and they see you do something that ends up triggering them, it's going to cause them to want to, like, you know, retract their energy from you, and it's going to cause them to fall back into this like negative mindset again. Let me give you an example. Let's say that you go like a whole hour without texting them. Well, that's going to trigger them, and that's going to cause them to want to retract their energy from you. And that's what's going to also cause them to fall into this negative mindset. Oh, well, they're probably doing this and they're probably doing that. That's why they're taking a whole freaking hour, you know, to text me back. You know, you see what I mean? It could be like things like that. So like I said, this person might know what actually triggers them, and I'm sure that they do know exactly what triggers them, But I also feel like there's new things that are going to be triggering this feminine energy within this connection that they themselves didn't even know would trigger them, is basically what I'm getting. So if you're this masculine energy, you might find yourself learning along the way what actually does trigger this feminine energy. So Gemini, I'm not entirely sure who you are in all of this. But if you are this feminine energy, like I mentioned, you will definitely be meeting someone, and it's going to be somebody that you mesh very well with. It's going to be somebody that you're going to be very compatible with. However, I feel like as far as like you trusting them is concerned, it's going to take a while. And it's not because you can't trust them. It's not because you can't trust them. I just feel like you've been through a lot of shit in life that has caused you to not put anything past absolutely anyone, which is totally understandable. I think that it's very hard for you to just, you know, trust people like nothing. You know, again, considering everything that you've essentially been through in previous relationships, trusting someone is just not an easy task for you. However, do I believe that you will eventually learn to trust this person? Yes, I do. However, I feel like it is going to take a whole lot of time. Now, going back to this whole I just can't convince them, or I wasn't able to convince them energy, I feel like this person is going above and beyond to show you that they are trustworthy. And that's something that should speak volumes to you if you are this feminine energy. Listen, when somebody really has something to hide, they're not going to go above and beyond to try to, like, you know, gain your trust, you know, because this person's going above and beyond, like, here's my location type of deal. What I'm trying to think of what else this person could possibly be doing on their end. Here's like the passwords to all of my social media accounts. Here's the passcode to like my phone. Here's the passcode to my laptop. Here's the key to my house. Here's the key to my apartment. You know, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I just kind of see them going above and beyond to like try to like prove to you that they are trustworthy. I'm sorry, but if this person legit had something to hide, they're not going to go above and beyond. They're going to literally be fighting you on this. Like, no, you can't have the passcode to my phone. No, thank you. No, you cannot have the passwords to my social media account. No, you can't have this. No, you can't have that. Like, people who have something to hide, yeah, they're going to take that route. I don't see this person taking that route. You see what I mean? Like, I don't see them taking that route with you if you're the one with the trust issues, and that should speak volumes to you. It should speak volumes to you. But the thing is that I feel like for a split second it will, and then like they do something else to trigger you, and then you kind of find yourself falling back into this negative mindset, if that makes any sense. You know, if that makes any sense. And like I said, it could be like, you know, a situation where it's like they take a whole hour, you know, without like texting you. That might cause you to like think the worst. That might cause you to think, oh, they're probably out with another chick or out with another dude. You see what I mean? Like, when in all actuality, they're working, you know, or they're at the gym, or they're spending time with like their family members or their friends or their kids if they have any, or they're driving, for example, like, and you know, they don't text and drive. Like, it could be anything. It could be anything that this person is essentially doing. But if it's one thing that I will say is, do I think this person's like cheating on you or like entertaining somebody else? No, I wouldn't go as far as to say all of that. I definitely wouldn't go as far as to say all of that. All right. So that's what I have for you. Hopefully the reading helped. Hopefully it resonated. And I will see you guys in your next reading. Bye.